Hello, yes, Samraftab Khan is now live in the content workshop of the core international issue, and I'm feeling very good because as I was already in tension for the existing situation between India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan border tension is completely existing here, so I was already in the situation of fear and frustration. So, Sir Nitin gave me that you have to give the complete address that what is really happening in the Pakistan and India. You have to make a small type of the address before starting your workshop. So, I couldn't explain it. What is really happening through the lens of reality and through the lens of estimation. But what really is happening, I can explain it through the lens of the common citizens of the states. We couldn't sleep whole night. The Indians set the missiles on the Pakistan territory at I think at quarter to one. It was maybe 12:55. I couldn't just give you the exact time because it depends upon when I woke up tonight. So after this, the situation goes in the escalatory phase, and we got lot of the propaganda manipulations just from both the sides, from India and Pakistan, that we have done this and we have done this. And Pakistan is claiming that Pakistan has set down the three major jets of the India, and India is similarly claiming that we have targeted the 9 air base in the Pakistan. So the claims are very high from both the sides. Pakistan is also in the great retaliatory mode, as per the Pakistan DGISPR. They are claiming that we have to come out of the defensive mode this time, and we will retaliate through bad escalation in Indian territory. So it is the story that is really happening uh, from both sides of the border, and we are getting the propaganda, we are getting the manipulation either on India or either on Pakistan media. But what really is, we are getting it little bits of the news, exact news from impartial news channels too. So these are something that I have to address before starting my the content meeting for the Annabelle 4. And what is the real tension between the Pakistan and India? It is something that backs from 1947. We both had a worst type of the relationship. From 1947 still now, we are in not in good bond, especially after annexation of the Hari Singhs with the Kashmir. When Hari Singh signed the instrument of annexation with the Kashmir, that was really something that put the whole situation in whole cracks. But after that, still this escalation, this hatred is perpetuating on both the sides of the borders. We know that we have the educated masses on both the sides, but you know that war is something that creates the hatred, that creates the sense of sentiments, that creates the emotions and something like this. So we cannot say that actually the Kashmir is the main bone of contention between Pakistan and India. After independence, really the Pakistan wanted to keep Kashmir in the territory of the Pakistan. But at the same time, we know that the ruler was the Hindu Raja Maharaja Hari Singh, who immediately signed the instrument of annexation with the India, and who also begged the military help from the India. And then the situation goes in the war situation. Um, you know that it is the hybrid war. It is the war of the manipulation, it is the war of the agenda generation. So there is a lot of the outburst of the negative information on the internet, and everyone is explaining the point of view according to his own perspectives. But I can explain it through the lens of the common citizens of the state, that we couldn't sleep the whole night. I think that it's quarter to one when the Indian sets the missiles on the territory of the Pakistan, and according to the India, they have dismantled, I think, 9 air bases in the Pakistan, and dismantled the terrorist homage in Pakistan, including, as they considered, the mosques and madrasas, also the terrorist homage. So that's why Pakistan is also explaining that we have set down the three air jets of the Indian Air Force. So voices are very high from both the sides, and we couldn't estimate the real loss of the war from both the sides, but still some media channels are giving the exact news too. So we are just depending upon the impartial news channels, as I am getting the little bit of information from our core forum too, because our core forum couldn't get the exact information because the area is far away from the main core organization. So that's why I couldn't completely rely on this information too. But I think that situation is worse now, because Pakistani army, the DGISPR, has said that we are going to be in strong retaliatory action towards India. We are going to take the avenge of the martyrs in the territory of the states. So it could be worse. I think that, as per the statement of the DGISPR. So I think that what is really happening between Pakistan and India. A lot of the guys have raised the question that what is really happening among you people, why you are in tension. I think that the major bone of contention is the Kashmir. Kashmir is the territory, as you can compare it with the Donbass, and similarly, territory. It should be included in the Pakistan after independence of 1947, because it has the Muslim majority. But unfortunately, the Hindu ruler Maharaja Hari Singh just signed the instrument of annexation with the India. He also invited India to launch the security forces in the area of the Kashmir. So situation gonna more escalated in this phase. But after this, we know that India and Pakistan then go through the phase of the war, one after the other. In 1965, we have a lot of the worst and good chapters too, and in 1971, and then in Kargil attack too. So what's really is the happening, that that it is the war of the missiles. The war dimensions have been changed completely. So, what is really happening across both the sides of the border? What is the real story? Because there are a lot of the propaganda and manipulation from both the sides. So, you know that it is a time of hybrid war in high ultrasonic warfare, where the propaganda generation is very high, where the manipulation is very high, and you know that there is the outburst of false information on the media. And when a country goes to attack the another country, so they both are just adding the lot of the information, negative informations on their websites too. So what's really happening in the Jammu and Kashmir. So we cannot explain it through the lens of the reality, because what is really happening is unpredictable. So what is the lesson for both the countries? Either they both can pay the consequences of war, either they both have the good economic condition. As per claims of the India, we are the high economy of the world, but still India has to deal with the area of 32 lakhs, more than 32 lakh. So both are in this situation to pay the penalties of wars that are very high, and so both should um, try to see the things through the lens of the reality. So both are not in the condition. We see that what is the main cause and what is the main reason of this escalation across the border, and why India is just out of fire, out of rage for Pakistan. So situation is this that the Pahalgam attack. India is a main plotter of the Pahalgam attack, Indian army especially. And then they are just putting the blame on the Pakistan that many terrorists and many extremists of the Pakistans, especially shaped by the madrasas and mosques of the Pakistans, are just escalating and de-escalating the situation in Pahalgam. Main reason of this escalation across the border, and what is the main reason of this turmoil? Because India just claimed that Pakistan is involved in Pahalgam attack, the attacks on the tourists in Pahalgam, because India is already the plotter of the Pahalgam attack, and India is just putting the blame on the Pakistan for this whole security turmoil in Pahalgam. I think that it is something that is the conspiracy, that is the clandestine plot of the India, and India then in retaliation of this clandestine plot, India is going to stop the water flow in the different rivers of the Pakistan coming from the Indian occupied Kashmir. It is also, I think, that completely insane act. And if you are a country mature enough, you have a good democracy, you have a good sense, mindsets, and you have a good aspiration, then how you can do these types of nonsense and mischiefs? So by putting high grandiloquence is not something that is a real commentator of democracy. I think that we peoples are mature enough on both the sides of borders. We peoples are now educated, and we know that what is the propaganda war, what is the hybrid war, and what are the consequences of these wars. So we shouldn't just incite or army for the more escalation and more de-escalation across the border from both the sides, because we know that we both the country couldn't in the situation to pay the ravages of war that will ultimately create retaliation from both the sides, but put the whole humanity in a curse of the downfall and degradation. So we should accept this, that there should be something. The countries should play a role of mediators between Pakistan and India to stop this war immediately. It is not something that is related to the consequence of the destruction of only one home. It is something that is involved in the consequence of destruction of millions of the lives, and we ultimately go in more and more downfall. So Pakistan already go through, both Pakistan and India already go through the two wars in 1965 and in 1971, and we have seen the high Holocaust too, high losses too. I think that both the countries couldn't pay the penalty of the ravages of war, because the economy of both the countries are fragile. Although the India claims that we have the good economy and we are the commentator of the democracy, these grandiloquence are really very high from Indian sides. But the reality is that both are just fighting with the devices, nuclear devices, and instrument backed from different countries. Both are not in good conditions to pay the consequences of the war. So I think that in 1971, when Bangladesh separated from the Pakistan, then Pakistan army also paid a lot of the penalty, because we know that as we are going to, and what is really happening, that both the armies are under the great threat, civil threat, because India is saying that Indian army is not putting the strong retaliation on the Pakistan, because they are just giving the references from the Kargil war and um, Pakistan, where the peoples in the Pakistan that said that Pakistan army have indulged itself in the politics and other activities. Pakistan army is not in the situation to deal with the wars in a good way, in good manner. So these are also the blames of the citizens from both the sides too. And Pakistanis are also saying that we have seen the separation of the Bengals, where our army have surrendered, and we got the news of the propaganda and manipulation of the falls of the Dhaka in 1971 through Pakistan Army too, and then the whole chapters has turned in the favor of the India and Bangladesh. So they are also giving these types of statements too. And as per the Indian citizens, they are saying. And on the other hand, we know that the Indian citizens, they are also saying that our army is not in the conditions to cope and to compete with the Pakistani army, because Pakistani army is also a strongest army, and they have more intelligent agencies too, and so they are just giving their references from the Kargil attack too, and many other attack that's have done by the Pakistan in territory of the India. So situation is really wars from both the sides, and when they both will go to attack one another, definitely the consequences were very bad because of the fragile economic system, poor social systems, and many other things that add up to bring us towards the degradation and loss. So I think that country should play the role of mediators to stop the war between